Welcome to the Fixit channel, and this is a little video to explain a little more what is a DDoS, or denial of service attack, on the internet. This follows, of course, last Friday's massive denial of service attack that happened on the internet. It all started on Friday, October 21st, around 7 in the morning, 7 a.m. Eastern Time, North America. It started attacking the East Coast computers. And then it went through pretty much all of North America, or mostly the United States. But on Friday, it really was a massive attack. It came in waves. So when the waves were at their peaks, a lot of websites were down. Then it slowed down and came back again in several waves during the day. Basically, this enabled many of the websites were off the grid, were off the internet during this attack. So I'm going to explain a little bit what happened and what could be the reasons behind all of this. So basically, Friday, many websites were down. PayPal, Netflix, CNN, and so many others. There's a big list of websites that were down. And of course, this means it costs a lot of money. Because, for example, think of PayPal that wasn't online for a few hours. Well, all the transactions that were lost, and also all the annoyance of users or people that want to do PayPal transactions during that period. Basically, denial of service attacks are possible because of one thing: something called zombie computers. You know, a lot of people could be thinking, oh my God, imagine how powerful the computers they have must be to attack websites like this. Well, that's the thing. To have such a capability would cost so much money that there would not be any attacks if they had to, have the infrastructure to block everything on the internet. So what they do instead, the hackers or the people behind this, they actually create something very unique. A little virus that infects machines. And even though you are watching and saying, well, I don't have a virus, well, there are constantly on the internet a certain percentage of computers that are always infected. And that is from people that use old, obsolete software like Windows XP. That's from people that just don't take security into their own hands and they just don't care. And basically, it happens that some of them, and a lot of them, there are millions of those on the internet, the computer becomes a zombie. It's a little virus that they put in, but that virus, it's not like malware that just displays something to you and it's there and it's just annoying. It tries to be as quiet as possible. It tries to be under the radar. It tries not to hog too many resources on your computer so you don't notice that it's there, but it is there, and it's phoning home all the time. It's regularly saying, hey, I'm here, so if you have something that you want to do, I'm waiting. And that means that these guys, by sending out viruses, have infected millions of computers around the world. Basically, that little virus is waiting for commands. So what happened Friday? Of course, somebody somewhere issued, with a special tool, a command that told all the zombie computers that it could find, okay, let's attack these websites on the internet. So how do they attack? They attack by simply sending out millions and millions and millions of requests a second. So, websites are made in a way that they can accept up to a certain number of requests every minute or every second. But when an attack like this happens, it suddenly is overflowed. There's too many requests. So the servers will break down, shut down, have all sorts of problems, will be very slow. And typically, it is just by, making too much traffic that they bring down internet sites. So that's why the security of your PC is not just important for you, it's important for others. Because if you're careless about your security, not only do you have problems that could happen. Maybe you could even lose money. You could, have your computer have some ransomware and so on. But it could also impact the entire internet. So being careless means not only you're careless with yourself, you're careless with others. So basically, what happens with a zombie network is this. The attacker will send the request to the handler that will send the request to the zombie network. And the zombie network is, of course, millions of computers. Sorry. So basically, what happens is that these millions of computers attack specific websites. And so they can attack only one. So say they could have targeted Google, for example. They could attack multiple websites. That's what happened on Friday. And to give you an idea of how powerful the attack was, because it was the most powerful attack ever, at the peaks, it was sending out 665 gigabits per second of data on the internet. That is a huge amount of requests, a huge amount of data. And of course, PayPal, Netflix, CNN, and many other websites were brought down because of this. Now, why people do such a thing? There are several ideas behind this. First of all, we don't know exactly where it comes from, because the reason is we don't know where the attacker was. We know that millions of computers from everywhere around the world were attacking, but we don't know from where the request first started. One of the reasons, governments that might want to impact or break down the infrastructure of another country. So it could be a state-sponsored attack that hackers have used a tool to simply, command the zombie networks to do send so many requests to break down certain websites. Now, I would not think that could be a state-sponsored attack, for the reason that it attacked mostly websites and a lot of news websites and things like PayPal and Netflix and so on. Usually the state-sponsored attacks attack much more specific targets and government stuff, government targets in general. It could be monetary. There's a famous case of many years ago when a group of hackers had sent the NFL a little notice saying, "Hey, you could pay us $100,000 and we'll make sure that NFL.com isn't down on the famous Super Bowl day." So there are hackers that will work like this, and there are known cases of companies that had to pay and did pay just to make sure that some of their websites stay online. And the reason why they pay is because if they paid $100,000 and it saves it will make their websites give them millions of dollars. Well, what is it paying $100,000 if you make millions and millions out of your website? So that's why often they will pay, because paying the fee is so little compared to how much money they would lose. So there's this kind of attack. Bad guys wanting to cash in on on big companies and organizations. There's the case of the little hacker in his basement. We have a very famous case here in Montreal where a guy, a teenager, he was like 14 years old, something like that, in the early 2000s, had his nickname was Mafia Boy. He had done a denial of service attack like this, and he done it simply because he had downloaded a package from the internet that contained the tools required, and he was curious, so he decided to try it. And behold, it did work, because it took down many major websites and caused hundreds of millions of dollars in damages. And of course, he went to jail, and at the last news that I know, he was hired as a security expert in a company, a IT company. So, there are different reasons why people want to attack and do these things. the Friday attack was the biggest ever, and as we go on, it's scary. If you read, I had a news bulletin on my Windows channel today where we learned that a Chinese company that makes DVRs, webcams, and Internet of Things devices actually said that their devices were used partly in the attack, meaning that now not only do we have to be scared of computers being zombie, but we have to be scared of our own internet devices that could become zombies. They are, small computers. So as time goes by, these attacks are going to be more and more powerful. So it's an interesting topic, and whatever the reason and wherever it comes from, maybe we'll know eventually. Of course, there are some people around this. There's law enforcement that's probably looking at this right now, saying, "Hey, where did this come from, and what are the motives behind all of this?" And maybe soon we'll know exactly what happened on Friday. So I hope you enjoyed this little lecture on what was that attack on Friday, how it works, and maybe it's going to help you keep even more safety on your computer and your devices at home that are plugged on the internet. If you enjoy my videos, please subscribe to my channel. You'll be informed when new videos are online. Give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching.